Hello everyone, my name is Francesco Tamagnini and today we will talk about body fluids. This lecture follows up the transport inside and around the cell and the homeostasis lecture. So today we will talk about fluid balance and what makes up the body fluids, what is the function of electrolytes in the body, and we will talk about some very important principles that you need to master, such as the concept of diffusion, osmosis, and tonicity. So, as we said now multiple times, water composes, in the average man, 60% of the total body weight. 70 kilogram men, 42 liters are more or less of water. 57% of these is composed by intracellular water and the rest by the internal environment, which is the sum of the interstitial water, plasma, and transcellular water. So, as we discussed many times now, what delimitates, what represents the border between cells and the internal environment is the cell membrane, while the interstitial fluid is separated by the plasma from the plasma by the capillary wall. So it's very important now to understand how the movement across these compartments is regulated. So the internal environment and the total amount of water inside of the body is a homeostatic parameter. So the total volume of water inside of the body is constant. That means that the fluid intake and the fluid outtake are compensated. If I drink 2 liters of water, then 2 liters of water will come out of my body in the form of urine, vapor through my breath or through my skin, feces, sweat, and so on and so forth. So, in average, a person has an intake of 2.5 liters of water per day through ingested food and drink, and it also generates water by breaking down glucose into water and CO2. And the output of a person, of water of a person, is again 2.5 liters. Most of it comes from the urine, part of it from the feces, and another part from the steam, from the vapor that is leaving the skin via perspiration and via the lungs through expiration. So the evaporative loss is a loss of water we are not aware of, and this occurs through the skin and the lung. So once again, the input and the output of water in the body are always balanced. Most of the input comes from diet, some of it comes from metabolic water, most of the output water comes from the urine, and part of it from feces and insensitive evaporative loss. Now, the percentage of water within the body of different people in different stages of their life changes. It changes between men and women. It changes between newborn babies, adult, and older people. And usually babies have more water. Men have more water than female. Lean people has more water than fatter people, and younger people has more water than older. So if you could assign these, you would realize that 40% is for the woman that is overweight, 45% is for the person who's aged, because with age you lose lean mass. 50% is for a healthy, higher fat content than man, woman. 60% is a healthy male with low body fat. 73% that has the lowest body fat is the baby that has the highest volume, the highest percentage of water per body weight. So water is the primary substrate for living organisms. You can understand that water is the molecule of life, and it has many functions which we never really stop thinking about. First of all, the temperature regulation. As a matter of fact, water has a very high thermal capacity. It also works as a protective cushion. Think about the amniotic fluid in the placenta for babies, or the cerebrospinal fluid, or the synovial fluid, which also works as a lubricant. It is a reactant itself. Hydrolysis is a fundamental reaction for breaking down complex polymers. But it also is used for synthetic chemistry within the body, in anabolic mechanism in a process called condensation. It is obviously the main solvent of the body. All the salts present in our body are present in the form of ions. All the nutrients are dissolved in water. Even fat is dissolved in water thanks to the act of transporter proteins. And of course, it has a function of transport. Water can flow, so it is used to transport nutrients and, of course, waste away from the body. Nutrients, towards the different organs, and waste via plasma.